I don't know why it does that. It gets rid of all of the instructions when I flip it over this way.
Well, it probably has a built-in feature.
It's got a dooflicky built in. Okay, do I need to tip that over a bit? Or maybe zoom in. Oh! It was as wide as it could go. Okay, that's pretty good. Now...
What does W mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, that might be the right size. Okay, we're gonna tip this over.
Oh, that's kind of...
No, that's goofy. Okay, we'll stick with the close side by side.
Yeah.
Okay, alright. We're back from our commercial break. Okay. And I actually wanted you to tell a story. I'll get drinks, but I'm going to get you started on a story.
Okay. What story we got?
This is a story that I actually heard your dad tell. But I've also heard you repeat it. And this is the story of Bill, who told everybody that he shot a huge buck in the bush.
Yeah.
Okay, so you start with the preamble, and I'm going to get some ice and some...
Okay. So I was very young at that time, and it was very late season. It was late December. It was always way cold. I was frozen most of the time, but persevered.
Oh, that's something to point out, is that now we go hunting in November, which, like today, was a pretty mild day.
Oh, yeah. It was a nice go to the park day, you know.
But
+3.
Before, when you were a kid, you would shoot in late December or early December?
Yeah, it'd be middle. Yeah, middle of December. So it was generally 15 below.
And always snow, always cold.
Always snow. It was always a huge battle. As a matter of fact, to take something along for lunch, like we have our lunch, the guys would take a beer, have a beer at lunch. I'd take a pop, right? And more often than not, you'd take your canned drink, and it had the zing off tap thing.
Yeah.
And you'd zing it open and put it.
I remember those.
And put it in the fire because it's frozen.
Oh, put the drink in the fire, not the tap.
No, put the drink in the fire.
Okay.
Because the canned drink is frozen. Now it's been in your pocket for 3.5 hours.
Oh, absolutely. So if it's frozen, you're frozen.
Yeah. Anyway, it was that time of year, and Bill Zip, William Zip, wonderful guy. Just a little bit peculiar, and in those days, they accepted that. Nowadays, you're peculiar right away. They put a label on it.
Sorry, what was his last name?
William Zip.
William Zip. Oh, okay.
Yeah. W.M. Zip.
I don't think you have ever told me that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's William Zip, and he was an interesting guy. But he wasn't quite as deep woods as my dad was, or some of his buddies. So like today, we were on Bill's Ridge, and Bill's Ridge is about the size of 3 football fields long and about equally as wide. It's not really that big a ridge.
That's where you shot your deer today.
That's where we shot the deer today. He'd spend his entire life on that ridge.
Oh.
And so, one day, me and Dad, we were coming off another...
Was it an issue of staying dry and
No,
warm
just don't get too far away.
Oh. Okay.
Make sure you're right where everybody can find you. And so, me and Dad, we never came back the same way we went in. Most of the time I was Hudson's Bay Company lost. But we would come to this ridge and there's all these footprints. And he's gone back and forth so many times, I said to my dad, if he falls and breaks his leg, we'll never find him. Because we have no idea which way he went last.
Yeah, no kidding.
We could start off at 9 in the morning and, by the next day, we're up to where he was at noon. Because we're trying to figure out, he'd have it beaten down like a school ground. But anyway, we catch up to him and we're going back for lunch, but he's got to stay on his ridge till 12 o'clock.
Yeah.
So we hook up with Strassel and we build a fire. And my dad and Kurt Strassel, they were buds for a long time and they were yakking away. And
you were there at the time of this story? You know what? I didn't know
I
that.
am instrumental to the story.
I thought you were always repeating your dad's story, but you were there.
I was there.
Right on.
And so the day before, Bill had shot at this giant buck. And he was huge, but he got away. Oh, but he knew I got a piece of him. I got a piece of him. Which is, if you're going to get a piece, get that piece right here. Right in the back. Right below the loin. Take that home with you, let the rest. So, we're sitting there having lunch. And Dad says to me, "What's that blood on your boot?" And I looked at my boot, and right on my boot there was a drop of blood in the snow. It was old.
Now I gotta say, he can pick out a drop of blood on your boot.
Yeah.
I see it as mud, shit, whatever I've been walking in. I don't see anything. And then I walk in and he goes, "Oh, you got blood on your boot."
Yeah.
Sure I do.
Yeah, you do.